every community needs individuals who sacrifice themselves or put themselves forward in order for other people to be successful and for the community to advance as well. But do we know these individuals well? I don't think we do. Live Talk is a special program dedicated for individuals who are more dedicated in the communities, who are doing so much to help others develop and be successful. We are here and we will be engaging with individuals as such. With me here today is Mr. Eyiah, our special guest, who's going to share his life, experiences, what has got him this far, and whatever he does, to impact the community. We're going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to engage with Mr. Eyiah. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Live Talk Show. You are a teacher back home in Ghana. You were a journalist as well, so you were doing so good. So at what point did you decide to relocate to Canada?
Okay, that's a very wonderful question. What happened was that I like learning. Knowledge is power, I always say. Right. And you can get knowledge through learning, and we learn every day. So I was going to go to Australia, I was going to go to Norway, I was going to go to, there was another country, Japan. But since I told you that I was at Tech, so my lecturer said, okay, if you want to go and do further your education, the best place is Canada. Since you love teaching and you love doing writings and other things. So fortunately, I knew one Mr. NS there here too. I said, okay, can I get a school here? So through that, I got a school, and they said, okay, come and do your, I had my master's already in Ghana, come and do your PhD program. So that was my objective of coming to Canada. So I came to U of T. So I passed through Britain, as I told you earlier, and then 1996. By the grace of God, I landed in Canada. Right,
so coming here wasn't because you were looking for greener pastures, but it was only because you wanted to further your education, right?
Not at all. I wouldn't want to blab this way, but if you're a good Adventist back home, you are doing your work very well, and with the part-time job I had with GBC, I was writing for Daily Graphic too, People's Graphic, known at that time. Yeah. I was able to start my own building and other things. My children were in good school, so I didn't see any reason to say that I'm leaving Ghana for a greener pasture anywhere. What I wanted was more knowledge that I could use to help my children.
That's right, that's right.
In my country.
Right, so coming here in Canada, how has life been so far?
Coming here, I came here and I saw that it's not all that easy. So when I came at first, I wanted to get some scholarship and I had to fight through. By God's grace, I got the scholarship and I didn't start school immediately. So what will I do? I was here with Pastor Donko and the rest. A few people came around me and said, okay, as a writer, as I told you, that I always want to observe, experience, so that I can write about it. So I thought, okay, why not do the jobs that people, when they come here, they do? So I started going to the factories. I was doing night shift, I was standing on the machine, agencies and other things.
Was it when you were still schooling or?
Well, that time I had delayed my...
So you didn't start schooling right away?
Yes. Yeah, because I was looking for scholarship.
Right,
yeah. So, and I came here in January and they said, okay, you can wait till September before. So I said, why not as a writer? So I quite remember my first article I wrote for Graphic was something like being in Canada. I remember the song Abrichiri Abrabo and Canada because when I came here, I was at the airport, Pearson Airport. I had been at London Heathrow Airport, and I saw the difference. Though it was a bit cold, but it wasn't too cold. But when I came to Toronto, that was 1st January 1996, I felt like going out a bit. Ooh, the cold hit me hard, and I said, "Wow, this is really overseas." So I wanted to experience every bit of life that Ghanaians come here. Some come through connections, they come. Some are well educated, but they come, they have to do odd jobs and so I wanted to be part of it. And that's what I did.
Right, so that you can write on it.
Yes.
So does it mean that when you were here in Canada, you were still writing for newspapers back home?
Yes, I was still writing for graphic.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I was even still writing news commentary. And it was being read in Ghana. And I gave it the foreign touch. Saying what is here, and they like it. Just like Kokisi Fatum is doing from London. Still they do that. So what happened? Not to cut a long story short. What happened was that whilst I was doing all these things, I was preparing also to go to school. And in a way, there was this ad that Ghanaian youth here wanted somebody who could help it. And so 1998, I got to Ghanaian youth and I was helping him to write whilst I was schooling. And we covered a lot of the community. Both Ghanaian and non-Ghanaian. That helped me a lot.
So now I want to dive a little bit into your current career in terms of you being a teacher, you being a journalist, and you being a community advocate as well. So we're going to start from the teaching, side of it. So I know you're a middle school teacher currently, right? Which school do you actually teach now?
Yeah, I teach at Brookville Middle School. At Jane and Finch area. A very challenging neighborhood.
I can tell. So how has it been so far comparing teaching here in Canada to teaching back home? What would you say, like what interests you and what is the challenges?
Talk about it, because I know that a lot of professional teachers from Ghana had come ahead of me. And when I came here and I said that, I would love to do teaching. After going through factory work, cleaning, I did all those things. I want to go into teaching. There was this professor at the university, Professor Wise, Joe Wise. He said, okay, we can give you a note, you take it to the school board, that even the course that you are doing here, it needs practical. You need to be doing things in the classroom. So when you compare it, people have told me, you can teach here. You can't be a teacher here. Why? A lot of restrictions. And I said, no, let me go in and try. And what I've seen is that here, the student has a lot of power because of what they call abuse. They don't want the student to be abused. So they stand for themselves, they speak for themselves. And parents also have that authority. And parents come in to challenge teachers even at times. But back home in Ghana, all the power is in the hands of the teacher. When you are late, the teacher will pull a cane and beat you up. And then even your parent will also, which is not no more in Ghana, as I know. But that was there whilst I was teaching there.
Talking about that, when back home where teachers would actually lash you with canes and your parent will come and say, give her more. Would you say that helped in a way shape the child into the way we wanted them to be?
Okay, you put him in an area of what we call cultural philosophies. Now, you see, looking at the culture of Ghana, it worked in a way. Well, maybe if we have not grown up with that, maybe it wouldn't work. Here, they hadn't grown up with that. Well, they had it long time ago. I'm told that long time ago it used to be. But because of abuse and world wars and other things, it changed. So, those people who are in the education system now have not grown with, we call it corporal punishment. But I hear that in America there are some schools where some states advocate for corporal punishment. Which may not be the right thing because they feel that it intimidates the child from becoming more open to knowledge. It becomes a barrier. But here we are here and we do that. And kids take the system for right. So parents are afraid of them. And so they also don't become serious with their education.
That's right, and that was going to be my next question. In terms of, because students have more power here, have you had experiences whereby students who you can tell or envisage that you're supposed to be more successful aren't being successful because they have the power, and therefore there isn't any maybe corporal punishment or anything like physical to check them because they have the power. They think they have the human right and stuff like that. So do you have instance of kids who in your view you think, oh, if we had given a little bit more check, this child would have been more successful than the child is right now?
You're a parent of two, eh?
I'm a parent of two.
Good. And you are rearing them here in Canada.
Here
I know.
in Canada.
I have had experiences whereby even some Ghanaian kids, when you call their parents, they come to school, they snub their parents.
Right, the kids do that to their parents.
Right in the school, because they feel they have the authority, and the parent has no right to maybe physically discipline that child.
That's right.
Yeah. So what happens is that if the child is not disciplined in a way, what we call preventive discipline, in a way like, oh, you like watching TV, I won't get a cable in your room for you to watch it. That's the only thing. Maybe I won't buy you sneakers to go to school with. You want an iPhone, you won't get it. If you don't do those things, they don't become serious. But let me say this, it's not all children. Some kids are very motivated and they want to learn. And at times it depends on the teacher. Because I'm a colored person here, I want to put in this, that maybe some teachers who are not colored tend not to favor colored students, and giving them the tools in order to learn well is not there. And
so let's just pause there.
Okay.
Because that was one of my questions, which was I was thinking it's going to be very interesting to my viewers. So if you talk about colored teacher and non-colored teachers who don't give the the opportunities to other colored students, can you elaborate that a little bit more? Because I'm a parent, my son is in school, and I do face a little bit, like a few challenges when I feel that maybe by my perception I'm thinking that, oh, is it because I'm colored? Is that why I'm thinking this way? Is it because I'm colored? Is that why I'm thinking my child is not getting more attention? So you coming from the field, like the teaching field, give us more, throw more light on that.
It's a very big topic on its own, but we can
book another time. We can book another time to talk about that in the future.
The first time that I came here and I wanted to go into teaching,
I
will tell you that whenever elementary school teachers of Toronto, though they have given me an award, and I thank them for that, whenever we met, about 90% of the teachers white. You see, so in a way, and more of female too.
That's right.
So in a way, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't put the blame on them too much. Every color sees his or its own color well. Okay? So if I come to you, I'll be more comfortable because I feel we have the same color. And more particularly, when we speak the same language, then it becomes more comfortable. You remember that Nelson Mandela said once, if you speak in a language that the person really understands, then you are helping the person. But if you speak in the language that that person also speaks and understands, then you are in his or her heart. Okay? So, in a way, we didn't have many colored teachers in the system. And therefore, the white teachers tend to make sure that the type of training, I will tell you that a teacher will go to school with the culture from the home. The way that they were like, so when they see the black people, they say, hey, these people are violent. Even when you are speaking, it's not that you are violent. It's not that you are aggressive, but maybe that's how they talk. You see, that's their culture. They fear them. So they won't come around them. They won't want to. And when they have other programs, they won't sell those programs. I know that Pentecost Church says that I should come and talk to them about how the student can select subjects. So we had people, they call them guardians, coordinators. And all these are white. And so you see, they tend to take away what the black or the colored student would need. and say that, oh, you don't deserve this.
Right.
And that prevented a lot of our students. But now it's changing though.
It's getting better. Is that what you're saying?
It's getting better. But still we're fighting it.
That's very interesting, to be honest, and this really eye-opener. A lot of parents have this challenge in terms of their kids are not able to pursue the course they wanted to, pursue because their teachers are saying that we don't think you can do that. So from that point, I believe that there's that kind of lack of confidence in college students, right? But I guess that from an educational point of view, an educationist is supposed to be more like, tell me how to be more universal, equality in terms of treat everyone the same. Because if I come to school and I don't know about maybe diversity, that is where I'm coming to learn that from. So from an educational point of view, I would think that things like that will have to be streamlined to ensure that if you're colored or non-colored, we should all have the same treatment. Awesome. So back to education, or in terms of being a teacher, I know you've been a teacher here for how many years now?
18 years.
18 years now. And I've heard that you've had, or you have actually had a lot of awards, in terms of how hard you're working. In terms of awards, how many awards have you had so far, and what are they for?
Yeah, well, the awards are from my school, because the SDA Church, I quite remember I worked with Pastor Damson and a few people in the church, and then we went to the school to do homework club. After school, we were there to help them, went to the communities and stopped some boys from getting into gangs and other things. So that one they gave me an award. Yeah, that's from Brookview School. And then I've been a leader for the team. So that one too, I was recognized with an award as a team leader for a very long time. That was from Brookview Middle School. And then the community in a way, because we extended the school into the community, we saw something coming to me, as they call it, how do they even say this? When we talk about Black History Month, yeah, so I was recognized with Black History Month award. Awesome. And then, like you were saying, teachers need to be equitable in all their dealing. And I have been teaching more of Asians, so including Indians, Blacks, those people, and a few Ghanaians come to my school. So they saw how I handled all students, and so they gave me an award for that equity. So, and that was given us an award from the elementary teachers of Toronto.
That's impressive. That's really good.
Maybe next month I'm getting an award for excellent educator. But all to the glory of God. We need to serve the community very well.
So we want to talk a little bit more about the homework club, but we're just going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the homework club. Stay tuned. Welcome back, viewers. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the homework club that Mr. Eyiah championed or was very prominent in. So I heard that you had homework club both in church and outside of church. Can you just, enlighten us a little bit on the homework club, how it started, and the status of it right now?
I think, Pat, you will agree with me that education opens doors.
It does.
Yeah, so from Ghana, I had that in mind. I came here not because my father had a big cocoa farm or something, said it was education that brought me. So everywhere, we feel that when we push it a bit. In education, we have the academics, we have the applied and those things. So everybody has a share in it. So what we have seen here is that when you come to Canada, they have something they call that age. They use your age to put you where you should belong. Yeah, so some people, unlike Ghana, when they will say, oh, you are not doing well, we will repeat you. You will stay in class 1 for a very long time until you get it. No, it's not like that here. Here they understand that each and every student has his or her own way of learning. And because of that, we need to help students. So some students may do very well within the short time that you teach them in the classroom. Some will need more time. And therefore, the homework was there to help students to maybe catch up with what they couldn't get in the classroom or what they don't understand. And here too, they do a lot of project work.
Right.
So if you have a project work, you can bring it. Though your parents need to help you do it. If you can do it, we set up the homework in order to get students do that. We did one for the church.
Right.
We put it also outside into a school.
Right.
And we like, if your husband were here, you will see that. I like pushing the youth to take it up. I hear that with my church. And it's not only with the Eyiah church.
That's right.
I did the same for Pentecost. We did one for Assemblies of God. They have all gone down.
Right.
Yeah.
They've all gone, you mean they've all collapsed?
Yes.
In the churches?
Yes, in a way.
Right.
In a way, because you need commitment and so on. But Ghana Association, they call it Ghanaian-Canadian Association of Ontario, they had that vision. And so when I helped them to put their vision in place, they said, okay, then come and mind the homework club for us to help our students. So we started one at continuation because we don't have our own place. That's why we're fighting for Heritage Center for the Ghanaians where people. So we have set one there, and it has helped a lot of students. Even last, you came to cover launching of the Ghanaian-Canadian Heritage District. We brought some students there to come and testify how but we do it only on Sundays after church, once a week, which is not like we used to do before when Pastor Damson and the rest. We had the one at Heritage, one at Atwell. And we combine Atwell and Heritage, and we're going into school. So we did it every day after school.
Every day?
Yeah, after school for students.
So I have a question regarding that though. So I know the name is Homework Club, and you had mentioned that they bring their homework to be helped, and then you also set them up to catch up. So did you have like any structured program or curriculum for them as well in terms of them catching up? Okay, so
I was going to come to that. When you come to the homework club, first and foremost, we need to make sure that that student who has come there is not suffering at the school where he or she goes to. Okay, it should be up to what they are doing. So we have as a teacher, I have the Ontario curriculum from grade 1 to grade 12 is there. So all the subjects, so wherever your need is, we don't teach you something outside the curriculum. Ghana, they will say non-syllabus. We stay in that and help you.
The only reason I ask is that if there's a viewer out there who is looking into the child, you know, getting into something like that, then of course I'm thinking that it's going to be a very good avenue for us to, let them know how they can get in, and the benefits of it as well. I'm quite sure a lot of parents out there, would need help in people trying to help their kids catch up in school, right? So how do we get in? What is the age? From what age to what age can you be part of this homework club? How is the registration like? What is the qualification for that?
Okay. First, let me put a very needy request. We need more of volunteers, people, and not people who just come and say that, okay, I want to come and do something, and then you get a reference from us, and then you go away. We need people who will be committed, who feels that yes, this is what we need to do for the young people in our community. So begins from grade 1. We have kids like that up to high school, and we have people who come and help. Now we have others we call mentors, because maybe you are in banking, you can't come there and teach, but you can visit us, and then if we have a child who is able to think about being in the banking system in future, then you can mentor that child, whether in high school. So we have a lot of them. We had social workers also coming to help, so that if parents have problems in their home. So the homework club is more or less a service center. And it's more voluntary, right? It's more voluntary. It's now that we're fighting that if we can get something, then maybe we'll begin, just like Eyiah, we were fortunate to acquire some help from the government in a way. They call something African Canadian Christians Network.
Right.
Yeah, we were able to get something.
Right.
And then we will pay people. And that's what I see. Not all people can sacrifice.
That's right.
In doing things.
And I was just going to dive into your community work as well, because I know that you're a community advocate and you've done a lot for the community. But just before I go on there, I wanted to find out, in terms of those religious homework clubs, in terms of those in SDA, Pentecost and all that, which could not stand, in your mind, is there anything that we could have done differently to keep that going?
Yeah, I will stress one word, and that is commitment.
Commitment. Right.
Commitment. For example, this work that you are doing to help so that people can hear, if you are not committed to it, it will collapse in the long run. So it's commitment.
And yeah, it's about giving back to the community, right?
Exactly.
Once you've been educated, you've gone so far, you have so much knowledge, it's very important that you also give back to the community what you know and what you have.
Yeah, that is very true. But somebody will say, oh no, no one here helped me to come to Canada and so on. I did my own thing, I fought my own way here. Why should you? No, but because something service. If you're a Christian, the Bible says that wherever that we are, we need to serve. If we want to be leaders. If we want to be best leaders of the community, we need to say. Let me give you one big example. This man who has become the Minister for Immigration from the Somalian community, he was serving, and he was with the Somalian community doing a lot of things. And look, now he is there. So you don't know what God will use your communal work for.
So it's more about service, giving back, right? Awesome. So now I know that you're so much involved, or you're a board member of the Canadian-Canadian Association of Ontario. Tell me a little bit more about what you do. I know it's more of community work, but what is the main mission of this association?
Yeah, first and foremost, the mission is that we need to have one strong voice.
Right.
Yeah, so it appears that we are so fragmented. We have so many ethnic associations, we have so many churches and faith groups, because we have the Zumunta and the rest. They are not churches, they are mosques and so on. So we have so many of them, and they are doing well in their own small circles. The churches are doing well, the ethnic associations are doing well, and even now we have social associations. We have highbrow, we have sister to sister, and all these things are coming up within the Ghanaian community. But one thing we need to know is that the Canadian government, though multicultural, will recognize a strong voice from an ethnic background. So if you say you are Ghanaians, they will want to see that Ghanaians have one strong voice. And that is what the GCAO stands for. That first and foremost, to make sure that it's an umbrella organization. It's not coming to take anybody's work away from him or her. But to make sure that we all come under one umbrella and have one strong voice. Then the next one is to service the community. Because I know that there are other, for example, churches will say that, oh, come and help us do our homework, just like I was doing with SDA. Individuals will say that, oh, I want you to come to Vaughan and teach my child, and so on. I hear that you are. I said, no, why don't we have one place so that everybody will come there, and then we help them all at once. So that's what the association is doing. And now they have seen that if we can do it better, then we need a symbolic place. Just like when you go to Ghana, they call a place Ahimfie. You take it to Ahimfie, you send it to that place. So we want to have a cultural center, not for culture like we had at Kumasi, but a heritage, where maybe Mr. Badu can do documentations, and then if somebody wants to research, you come there, and there is something there. Look at Honorable Kofi Annan, who passed away. A lot of things might go under the bridge with what he did. Ghanaians kids may not know, students may not know who Kofi Annan even is. Now, or was, excuse me. But Kofi Annan did a lot of things that we can put in that heritage center, that people can go there. And the Ghanaian Association is championing this. And we are working close with the Consulate General here and then the High Commissioner. Even knowing the number of Ghanaians who live in this vicinity we call Ontario, or even the whole Canada, is a problem. The government will see that, oh, we have about 100 or 2,000 Ghanaians. Hey, then we need to be careful. Why? They always want the votes. You see? So we will capture the politicians, they will listen to us, and that's what we are doing. And I'm so glad the churches are on our platform for the Ghana Union. So the churches are in it, everybody. You can do your own small thing, but we have the bigger picture that we are looking at.
Right, awesome, that's good to know. So in terms of that, you had mentioned that there is a project going on. Is it a building project, which is going to be the Heritage Center that you mentioned?
Yes. I always tell them this. The building itself cannot solve our problems. So when you say a project is going on, there is a project going on. Project for education, project for women's program, project for seniors, project for our health, because we are dying a lot. So these projects are being initiated by the Ghanaian-Canadian Association of Ontario. They are also programs, but projects that we envisage to accomplish. But the building will become a symbolic center or a hub, whereby even if people came from Ghana and they don't know where to go for certain things, so go to the Ghana Heritage Center. There will be somebody there who can help you to get things. So that is the biggest project that we are all doing. So far we have raised over 40,000. Individuals are contributing 10,000 here and that. And we are going to spread it out. And I know that you people in the communication system will help us accomplish a lot. So that project is there. We have given ourselves, God willing, if Jesus doesn't come very soon, and we are not there, we have about 5 years to next year March, when they say that, oh, independent. What is that celebration for if we are not accomplishing something good for the people? So we want to see if we can get about 1.5 million as a seed, and then the government will come in and help us get it. We already have areas where the government says, if you are ready, we can give you and you can build.
So we do have the government support as well.
Oh yes, When we were doing it, and especially with the shootings that became rampant and affecting some Ghanaians too. Sadly, you know, about 2 Ghanaians were shot this summer. The government sees that, okay, if we can help the communities to provide services, to give things that will help, then it will take away some of these people from going into gun violence.
And I think that was going to be my follow-up question as well, in terms of the gun violence and the way Ghanaians are being shot here and there. So what is the association doing? What is the step that we have taken in terms of that so far? I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but in terms of the Ghanaian Association that we just mentioned, what are we doing about that?
Okay, that's a very powerful question. I wish the president himself were here to answer this, but I will say something on his behalf, Mr. Yudu. If you are listening, we'll bring you here one day. Okay, so what is happening is that we are working closely with the authorities. You know, you need to have a voice. If you want something to be done for you, you need to have a voice. So we have gone as far as to, I have been attempting helping even the liberals with their campaign and other things. Now we have somebody who is going to be even standing for Toronto City Council. Okay?
A Ghanaian.
Called Roko Achampo. Okay, so he gave us 10,000 the other day for this building. So if we can get, and he's a lawyer, so these are the people who are planning to make sure that they bring their services together to help our kids so that they don't go there. And also to put, I wouldn't say pressure, but to reason with the government that yes, these are some of the things we need to do. I quite remember last week I was at Driftwood Community Center where the police, 31 division, and all the politicians and so on, they were there thinking about what could be done. So we are planning what they call police reduction, gun violence reduction strategies. What are we doing? Where is the government putting more money? And we are all into it. So when they say that we have come together as Ghanaians and we say we are affected, you could see that when they shot Ghanaians, we were in the news. And we had a press conference and we were in the news, and the mayor sent us a word that they are all with us. They all feel that it's going too bad, so we should all come together. So we are doing those things behind the scene, and then we also visit families when we hear that things have befallen them. Yeah, because people may say, oh, because your child is a bad person. Maybe it's not like that.
That's right, yeah. So thank you so much for that information. Really do appreciate that. My viewers, I'm sure you are very interested to know that the Ghanaian-Canadian Association is doing a lot in terms of all the gun violence going on. They are not just sitting idle, they are very much concerned, and they are putting strategies in place to ensure that this comes to an end or it's being controlled. Now, before we close the docket on that, in terms of the Ghanaian Association here, how do I, get my voice heard by the association? For example, if I have a concern, if I want to say something, if I want it to be part, how do I go about it?
I don't know whether you were there when Mr. Dudu visited Heritage. Yeah, so first and foremost, when we talk about the bedrock of the association, it's churches to begin with. Then we have what we call the ethnic associations and then professional associations. So if you are with any of these associations, I can't remember when we were at Heritage, Mr. Kuntu Bramson used to represent the church. Mr. Abasa was elected from the church to represent it. And because of that, because Adventists were involved, they shifted a lot of things from Sabbath. Saturday, they know they won't get Adventists. I can't remember Kweku, Reko, and Benetri. I got all of them involved. So it is the work. It's there for anyone. But if you have representatives, then maybe you say that, oh, this is what is going on. We think the GCO should come in and do this. Just like we invite them to come to our function. We need to send our things there. And then we need to send our youth. And in fact, they were very proud of the Seventh-day Adventist Church for previous years when Eyiah will come and then they will march and they will do things and so and they will now Methodists and other churches are taking over that duty. So you, as you said, as you interview me, you are a member. You are a member.
I didn't even know that.
The only thing that we have been fighting with is how do we collect membership dues, because everything you need to get money and do it, so that maybe if...
Welcome back, my lovely viewers. We are still on the show Live Talk with Mr. Eyiah. So now we just want to know a little bit about Ghanaian education and politics a little bit, simply because you're still a writer, you're still a journalist, so I'm quite sure that if there's any information, you would have kind of first or second hand, and you'll be the right person to share with us. I've heard about free education in Ghana. Is that true?
Yeah, exactly. That is very true. And since I came to Canada, I started writing for the education system because I became an assistant director of education in Ghana before coming here. So I wrote about training college system, what we had here, and I wrote about non-formal education when Kufuor was then the president. And when Nanado came, we saw that no, before even Nanado, we saw that NDC and MPP were playing with duration for our high school. 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. We wrote, we made our voice heard. Now with the free education, what I think is that I will be naive if I say that free education at that level is not good. Some people have the opinion that Ghanaians do not value free things. So they say that, oh, when you make it free, they won't value it. Well, that is not with education. Because with education, we have come here, we have seen that free education from the basic level to secondary school is very necessary. It's even mandated by the United Nations that every child should have an access to education. Right. And that is what we call basic education mainly. So making it free, my experience from Ghana was that I quite remember there were people who wanted to enter secondary schools, training colleges, and because their parents had no money, they couldn't. And because some of the heads, I will say it without fear, because I've been in that capacity before, are so corrupt that they want to take money and put in the wrong people, and those people who maybe deserve to be there will not be there. Making it free removes a lot of things. It removes the heads becoming corrupt. It removes the problem for parents thinking or worrying about, can I send my child to school? Secondary school I'm talking about. So that one is very good. But when we talk about timing, we have a lot. It's a topic on its own.
Yes, I'm sure that we're going to have a couple of times with you anyways, because I think that is really that's a very interesting topic. But then, that being said, there has been debates about for and against. Because people are thinking that, you know what, it's free education, however, the cost of basic, commodities are high now. So therefore people are complaining. And others who are for it are thinking that, oh, it's a good idea. My child who never went to school because I couldn't afford it can now go to school. Now we do have these two sides. In your view, would you think that it was a good thing that a government brought this into being?
I need to be very pragmatic and diplomatic here, because when you look at it, the best thing that we can make for people to appreciate everything is to move them out of poverty. Because if people were, I can remember, I was not surprised when the finance minister, finance operator was saying that no, he thinks that there are some parents who can pay for the secondary school education, so the government should make them pay. And his own party, some were not agreeing with him. It's all being able, you see. So if you want to know my opinion, the for and against thing here, people are taking those lines because of where they are coming from.
Right.
Yeah, if I am very poor and I feel that the government says that I can now bring my child to secondary school free, right, I will love it. Right. Yeah, and if maybe I am so rich, I can afford to take my child to a school where equipment, teachers are well trained, there are a lot of educational resources, materials to help the child to learn better, I would say that no, I don't want the free thing because it is coming at the sacrifice of quality. Right. You see, so right, it becomes very dicey. When you are talking about it, you need to be very careful. But I hear the government says that they are trying to make sure that, and they say that we also have to come in. If you think you can help schools with books, if you think you can help schools with computers and so on. If you think that the communities can build, first people were doing that. They will build their own school. I know, I'm not sure where I come from, we put together a primary school and I had to help a bit. But are people doing that? Or what in Ghana we would say, we all look at the government to provide everything. Then this will not be good. Right.
That's a very good take on that. So I know you're quite a busy man. Mm-hmm. You're involved in teaching, community, and journalism. So what keeps you out of your bed every morning? What do you look up to every day when you wake up?
God.
Right. So
I ask God, where should I go?
Right.
What do you want me to do?
Right.
You have taken care of me through the night.
Right.
And then God will say that, okay, this is what you have to do.
Right.
But we cause something. God will not come from heaven and say that this and that. So we have priorities.
Right.
So like Mr. Bedu spoke with me, oh, we need you to come. Then I put it down.
Right.
So when the time comes, I need to see agenda the priorities. That's what we do for students here. You see your child comes home with an agenda.
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly. But we leave all to the hands of God.
Oh God, right. So in your spare time, what do you do?
I coach soccer.
Right.
I do a lot of writing. My coaching of soccer has been limited to my school only. But I know that my sons were very good in soccer until Christian got injured. And Kofi Patrick, I don't know, Patrick Eyiah seems to be very much into soccer.
Wow.
It's something in the family because my father loves soccer so much that I do it. So in my spare time,
it's
soccer,
interesting to know that you.
Yes.
So do you play and coach as well?
I used to play,
wow.
but then I moved into refereeing. I can't remember in my wife's hometown. One day they said they were going to beat me because in Ghana, if you referee and it doesn't go well for a side, they want to be on you. I do that. Soccer is still my thing. I still do drawing because I'm very artistic. Even I teach art in the school at times. And I'm hoping that the Ghanaian Heritage Center will come up so that I will use my pottery, how to sit on the potter's wheel and make pots and so on.
You do all that?
Yeah, I do all that. When you go back home to Ghana, I have my own cookery made out of that. Raising and so on. I teach some at
You're jack of all trades, right?
Not necessarily. It's when you have a gift,
you've got to utilize it.
Yes,
I buy that. I do. So now, just before we go, I just wanted to say something to my viewers in terms of if you're a student out there, what do they need to be successful? If you're a youth out there, how do you stay out of trouble or from being a victim of all these gun violence?
First, you need to be self-motivated.
Right.
We will have to start with you.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So when you come to my school, we have a slogan. It says, success has you, the letter U in it, and that you. So every child is a property of God. And God has a lot of good things for you. So God doesn't want you to become wayward. So you yourself, you should be proud that you are on this earth. As a youth, you should know what you want. Then, the next thing comes respect for whatever you have. Whatever you have, respect starts from home. You need to respect your parent, respect your sibling, and so on. And so that will, what I would say would be something we call extrinsic motivation outside. So the community, the church, and so on, we need to have something there for the youth. We don't have to leave them. Most of them are faced with what we call the dilemma of cultures. Because some of them were born in Ghana, they came here and they don't know what to do. So we in the churches, we in the associations, we in the professional bodies need to mentor them. So we need to set the example for them. But like I said first, the child should be motivated by himself or herself. And I like Pastor who will say that your child should tell you, what do you want to be in future? I want to be a doctor. Then you say it. It becomes something, a platform you can work on to motivate our kids. So the churches, the community, the associations and professional bodies, we should come together to provide a leadership, a mentorship for the youth. And the youth themselves should be motivated that they want to do something good for themselves and for their community.
Awesome. And how will the youth be able to stay out of all this gun violence? Any word of caution or any word of, for them to stay out of all these shootings going on and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I will start with you. You have young children, right?
Right.
Okay, so put your young children in after-school programs.
Right.
Now, when we have a lot of after-school programs for our kids, they won't grow up and be join the gangs.
Right.
Because when even you are not home, oh, I'm going for piano lessons, or I'm going to learn swimming, or I'm going to do this. Let's put them. And I think there is a plan that Mr. Badu spoke about. I don't know how fast he's working on that. We need to have what we call inter-religious or interdenominational, or we can even make it inter-association competition, where we bring the kids together, let them learn about their culture, let them study the Bible. If they are in the Muslim religion, let them know the Quran, because there are good things there. And when we begin and the kids get to know that, I hear that Kokusi Fatum was saying that in London, even with the AY, they do things and they go. You see, that will give the child something to do. And the devil will not find something for the idol.
Right.
But if we leave them alone, we don't care about the education, we don't care about what they do after school, they will definitely go into that.
Right.
And money too. So, though we are poor, if you get something for your child, because in this country, I know that some parents get money for their children. Please don't buy the high heels, don't buy the laces, don't buy and neglect the children who, because the government feel that you need to take care of. They are giving you that money.
Right. Awesome. So a word to a wise, it's enough. So, Mr. Eyiah, thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy, but you've been able to take time out of your busy schedule to be with us here and educate us on what we need to do in terms of bringing up our youth and our kids staying out of trouble as well. Thank you, lovely viewers, for your time today. I hope you did enjoy the show and the interaction with Mr. Eyiah. More of these programs are going to come your way, and until we meet again, I'm your host, Nana.